Howdy folks, welcome to another week. Now I may have been a little bit premature last week, indicating that the transport strike would have little or no effect. It has had a minor effect, and there are some things we're having a little bit of difficulty with. But as we pan around here, around us, you will see there is an absolute abundance of beautiful food. So trust me, you won't go hungry, but there are a couple of staples that are missing. While we're on that subject, brown rice, well, it's almost all over Red Rover. In terms of our Australian grown bulk brown rice, finished, and look, I think we're looking at somewhere around about 2 years before we get another harvest. In the short term, the absolute best we can do for you is something such as this. This is a fully imported certified organic brown rice. It's a short grain, it's Italian. It's the only way we can get brown rice. It can't be imported in larger quantities. These are small vacuum sealed bags. So in terms of brown rice, that's all we can do for you. However, your plain white rice, your jasmine, your basmati, a reasonable supply for those. Of course, it flows on down the line. So some of our rice and gluten-free porridges, cereals are going to be short supply. We expect to run out in not too distant future of the real good food baby rice cereal, breads, those sorts of things. You will start to see some impact down the track. And I guess it all brings around like the broader issue. Most of our rice is grown in the Riverina. A lot of the rice farmers there are struggling due to a lack of water, but are also selling their water allocations, which means they're not growing. They're growing other crops. Rice is of course very much water intensive. But I did hear on the radio the other day that there's a little cluster of growers up in Lismore doing something very smart. They're farming where the rain falls, which seems completely logical to me. And so they've been trialling growing rice in that region and have been very successful. So my understanding is that in a year or two we'll start to see some reasonable quantities and supply coming from the Lismore region, and that's a very good thing. Before I mention this week's specials, Julia's got a winter roasts pack combo on the front page of the website. Parsnip, swede, turnip, gold sweet potato, and then some gourmet potatoes, rose vales, got some Irish gold. So there's a nice little combo there for you to mix and match and roast up. Now make sure when you're doing this, apart from a good olive oil, you use a good salt, a sea salt. Now I'll talk more about that next week. Our vegetable special this week, the sabagos, they're our freshest, nice fresh dug. Potatoes are all a good size this week. You can buy 3 kilos for $6.95, which is a very good price. But other vegetables to be buying, carrots from Radowski, absolute first class. Truss tomatoes, you can see there, they're beautifully ripened. They come in a nice little cluster, and the best tomatoes to eat from us at this time of year. Beautiful little button squash. We haven't seen those for a little while, so they're a nice little treat. I'd probably go for them over the zucchini because zucchini has gone through the roof in prices. These are prices we haven't seen since the flood of June last year, when supply was supremely short. So only get those if you have to. Great supply of capos, red and green. Now radicchio, this is a bitter salad lettuce, so really you would consider mixing that in with other things like a butter lettuce. In my opinion, are the lettuce to buy from us this week. Celery, medium to medium-sized pieces. Collies this week are small. We don't have the nice large biodynamic ones that we were able to get last week. Just these little guys. Daikon radish, if you want to try something a little bit exotic and different. Carol Duncan was talking about this on the radio today, if you're an ABC listener. Beautiful large button mushrooms, nice large Swiss browns. Beetroot bulbs are big. Bunches, lovely bunches. Romas, really rich, nice and ripe. The buy in fruit. Fuji apples, first grade, first class, $5.99. Brilliant price, brilliant eating. Now the ones that we've got for you, these are our shop ones. The ones you'll buy on the net are slightly smaller than this, so great size for the kiddies. Pink ladies are also well sized. Again, grannies are a nice little size. Golden Delicious are a little bit bigger. as are the galas. We're starting to get some larger fruit coming through in the galas. Patterson mandarins. Now these are very, very juicy, fairly sweet, a bit of zing, quite a lot of seeds. So we've had some requests from mothers, parents, to also stock the Imperials we're getting previously from Queensland. Now these, I have to say, are eating a little bit better than the Patterson ones at the moment. They're juicier, they're sweeter, very, very, very few seeds. I think the kiddies might prefer that. You've got the option. However, the oranges from Patterson, although I've mentioned to you many times, not as pristine as they've always been, they're eating brilliantly. They weigh a ton, they're so juicy and sweet. Little tiny blood oranges. And Nashi pears, to go with our other pears, the bergamot and the like. Bananas, starting to show a bit of colour, they'll be eating good for Wednesday. Now we've got some melons coming from the Northern Territory, and Marcus, who is a connoisseur of melon, tells me they're outstanding melons. Me on the other hand, strawberries are my specialty, and they're brilliant. Good supply of strawberries, and they're fantastic, I promise. I just wish I could come up with an outro. Now that Cundall's retired, can I say that's your bloomin' lot for the week? I'll see you next time.